Greetings from Bootleggers Music Group and Bootleggers Music Group Radio. It's Paul Jones. It is 9:33 p.m. It is actually 5:33 a.m. in Egypt, where I'm about to talk to Ulrich Ellison. I know you're talking to Ulrich Ellison. He has just logged in. He was supposed to be on live tomorrow, 12/7 at 9 a.m., but he told me it is his actual anniversary, his 7th anniversary, and him and his lovely Gigi are going to be doing something. So I said, hey, I just got done with rehearsal, and would you like to jump on live? And he said, all right, said, yeah.
Well, I said, yeah, Paul, if you want to talk, I'm available to you.
I'm available. You said,
I really talk like that.
You actually said available, though. That's Indian. That's like an Indian because they can't say their V's. They go available. It was a victory.
No, that's a German-Austrian thing that, a W sounds a V.
Right.
Not like you guys like, what do you say? And we say, what do you say?
Right. But I say, what was that?
What do you say? Yeah.
What do you say? So this is very impromptu, and we're gonna re-air this tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. But I do have some friends that are going to tune in because they want to hear it live. You can't get Ulrich Ellison on like a pre-recorded horse craps thing. So, but
I mean, life is always different, isn't it?
Live is way better than if you got dead or something.
That's for sure.
Right.
Hopefully, I'm not dead tomorrow. So
you're not.
But being there's something special about being in the moment. We have recorded together. So
right. Well, we talk about you, all the time. So I know your ears have to be burning all the time because I talk about you on, and I always do. I always do the voice, and people dig that stuff. And he is as sexy as he sounds. He is sexy.
There's no image on the radio, right? Like
I'm recording this video because I'm going to put this. What we're starting to do is I'm putting you will be the second one that I recorded the video, and I'll put that on YouTube as well.
Oh, wow.
And here's the cool thing: you can actually, for those who are listening, if you want to join in with us, click on the link, go to the webpage. You click on the link for tomorrow's meeting or for tomorrow's production of Ulrich, and you too can actually come in and see beautiful Ulrich and his locks of hair.
Dope.
Or you can just wait, or they can wait until I put it up on YouTube. But I'm going to play one of Ulrich's tunes, America. This is a produced track, and then you can see, or you will be able to see, he does have his guitar in his lap, and he's even going to play some tunes for us while we're live. And I don't know what we're going to talk about, but man, your hair's gotten longer, dude.
Yeah, that's being in Egypt on the Red Sea, all the good air and good food. The hair has been growing.
Yeah. I mean, that is absolutely crazy. So I'm gonna play this tune, America. And then we'll be back in 3 minutes, 33 seconds. And we'll continue live with Ulrich Ellison at 5:37 a.m. Egypt time. And so I'm going to play this tune real quick. Ulrich, hang in there. I'm going to mute us out and let this tune play. This is a really, really cool tune.
right. Who's got the money but his wallet is tight? Big Mac, Playboy magazine, you wanna be my beauty queen. Coca-Cola, Super Bowl, we all love your rock and roll. All for one and one for all. You just missed your wake-up call. America, show me who's your superstar. America, show me who you really are. He made a promise when he knocked on your door. Just let him grab you, he'll fake your score. And if you trust the lies and follow his plan, you'll beat Miss China and Afghanistan. Big Mac, Playboy magazine, you wanna be my beauty queen. Entertainment, Super Bowl, we all love your rock and roll. Pussy, grab and president, this was not an accident. Your vote for the 1%, establishment has won again. America, show me who's your superstar. America, show me who you really are. My God, you really think your view doesn't count? You always get what you ask for. America, show me who's your superstar. America, show me who you really are. America, show me who's your superstar. America.
And that right there, my friends, is what Ulrich Ellison is all about. He is one of the most whacked out dudes I know on a guitar. It's just crazy. So we were talking a little bit off the air, and you're not in Egypt anymore. You're back in Turkey, right?
No, I move quickly. I'm hard to pin down.
Dude, you're all over the place. You just came off a tour. Last time we actually, I think, had dialogue. You were on tour,
I think so, yeah.
yeah, and you had just come off, and then I reached out to you, and you said you were in Egypt. Sent me a picture. You always send me pictures. I share the Lake Taz picture with people on where Walking on Water came from. And yeah. So I always share that picture because that was obviously I always tell the story of how that song came about. And so you're back in Turkey.
I'm back in Turkey. My dad is actually coming from Austria in 2 days.
Okay.
And then we're gonna be tour guide for him for a little while. He's never been here before.
Okay.
And then after that, we're gonna go to Austria together on the 19th and celebrate Christmas with my family. My sister lives in France, so she's gonna come from there. My other sister lives in Munich, so we're all travelers and we all gonna reunite.
Right. Well, that's cool as anything, man. And I thought you were moving to like Zimbabwe or some bullshit.
No, not really.
I thought you said you were moving like to Austria, or you bought a farm, or you bought a something, or
far away. I don't know when. Oh no, we're talking about Hungary, maybe.
Yeah, Hungary. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that fell through, unfortunately.
Well, nobody wants to go to Hungary anyway.
No, it was beautiful. There's a beautiful lake called Lake Balaton. It's a huge lake, and we found this old farm. Back over there, the prices are still closer to the Iron Curtain times, kind of. Yeah. So you can buy a house with like how many acres?
3 sheep and a goat.
Dirt cheap. I mean, really dirt cheap. Yeah, but there's also a reason it's dirt cheap. You got to be really, really careful.
Okay.
There's all kinds of problems with the properties and access rights, and so Anyhow, we just backed out of it. It was too shaky, the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, nobody wants to buy a farm and then have a riot.
No, I mean, you don't want to buy a farm and
then have it taken away.
To drive there with your car, that would suck. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So that was kind of the situation.
Because I can't see you on a goat or nothing. Or like
and no one speaks English. People speak German a little bit, but it's just different world there.
And I remember, Zsa Zsa's Gabor, you couldn't understand a damn thing she said. She was from Hungary, wasn't she?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. Well, I'm talking to Ulrich Ellison, and you know as well as I do, if you've listened, I say go to Meet the Bootleggers page, and Ulrich is, I believe, if I've got this correct, you are the numero uno dude. When they go to the Meet the Bootleggers section.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, you're the number one dude. I got you with your playing your guitar with the violin thing.
That's crazy.
With the violin bow. And so that's how important Ulrich has been to our project, because we just kind of fell in each other's lap.
Yeah, we did.
I can't remember the track offhand that it was, but it was between, I needed a guitar, I needed a different sound, and it was between you and Fernando Perdomo, who do you know Fernando? Out of LA?
No.
So, he tours with Joe Walsh and whatnot, and Fernando had been playing guitar for me on some of the early, the tracks that I was cutting for my kids. And I came across Ulrich, and you were really expensive. And, you laugh you laugh now.
Funny.
But
that's how you make an impression, see?
No, you were really expensive. But I listened to your stuff, and I stalked you online. And I was a predator online, and I listened, and I sent that. I think I've told you a story. I sent that track to Fernando and had him do it that night. So I just sent it to him, and then I went home and went to bed. And I was just looking at your picture, and I can't remember which one. It wasn't the one that is on the website, but there's just something about you, man. And God at that time was really dialing into me, and I went to bed, and I couldn't get you out of my head while I was in bed, which was kind of weird. And then I was thinking about you while I was in the shower, which was even weirder. And it gets weirder and weirder. And I while I was in the shower, man, I went, you know what? It's only money. And I came in, and that's when I punched you up. And for the life of me, I cannot remember. I think it might have been 29 days that it was.
Yeah, it was a saxophone tune.
Yeah, it was a sax tune.
Yeah,
and,
I didn't even know that you sang at the beginning.
Yeah, hell, I don't know if I sing now.
Yeah, no, but
is that what you call it?
All this kind of Kenny G borderline, like little black chick singing on it. It's like, well, this is groovy, but what is this for?
Right.
It kind of, I don't know how it really happened, but you just took several left turns with me, and then look at us producing an album.
Well, it was just weird because what was happening was it was during the scamdemic, and I was little Noah Coker was doing some programming stuff, and we were just trying to get some tracks because I was playing the sax out, and I was playing to other tracks. And I wanted to play I wanted to play some of our, some of my own stuff. And that's where all that came from. Right. And then, of course, later down the line is when all of a sudden the bootlegger stuff started happening.
Right.
And as a matter of fact, I think I remember I sent you, I sent you, it doesn't matter. I sent you a tune that I did sing on, and you were like, oh man, what the hell?
Yeah, I remember it made an impact on me. It was like,
Yeah.
it's like, what is this guy messing around there, with those programmed beats and the black chicks and so. I mean, the guy can sing his soul out, and
Oh,
I was just feeling like, okay, this is where the heavyweight is at.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The other
Well,
thing was peanuts compared to that in my mind when I
yeah.
heard you sing. It was like,
But it
okay,
started it, man. And I mean,
yeah,
like I said, I mean, that track that you did, because I remember, and nothing against Fernando at all. I mean, Fernando's a great guitar player, but as well as I do, when you're producing something, you want a sound, you want something.
yeah,
And, I mean, that's how, you and I've done it. I mean, we selected drummers that way. The
exactly,
bass players, that certain people bring certain talents to the stage.
absolutely.
So what are you doing, man? I mean, I know your new album. I think that's doing pretty well for you, isn't it?
Yeah, I've had some good reviews and some interviews and so after the tour. And but the truth is, I mean, that it's a Hendrix tribute album that's out. It's
Right,
got
right, right.
Tommy Shannon on it, and Stevie Ray's bass player, good friend of mine. And it's just, I was so lucky to get all those people play on it because of the pandemic.
Right.
Everybody was sitting at home, and I just called them up and say, hey, let's have some fun. Would you play on this Hendrix tribute? Chris Farlow singing on it on one track, and David Grissom is playing the guitar. Matt Schofield. I mean, I'm really proud of it. Yeah.
Right.
But now that it's out, and I'm not touring right now, people can grab it if they want it. I'm not really doing much with it.
Sure, 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 sure.
And the main reason for that is that right around the time where we met, I started this other endeavor, which turned into a guitar academy.
Yeah, yeah. I want to talk about that.
It started with a Hendrix masterclass, and then it turned into a guitar academy, and now we got like 115 students from all over the world.
Yeah.
That I take care of, and it's really getting to the point where it's tearing me apart a little bit in a good sense.
Right.
But I'm in the process of building a team right now to it's already a music school, and but it's only has a staff of one so far. So
Right.
I'm putting
Right.
it on its proper feet, and I can see great things happening.
Yeah.
The name is TGT Academy.
Okay.
That's the name of it.
Okay. Yeah. Spell that.
TGT's stands for Total Guitar Transformation. Yeah.
Okay. TTT.
No, TG like guitar.
TG.
Total Guitar Transformation. Yeah.
TGT.
Yeah, because you about the transformation. You want to transform lives.
Right.
And I just transform guitar players. That's what I do.
Yeah. I mean, I think that was just a really kind of a gnat on an elephant's rear end when you and I talked, and now it sounds like it might be somewhat of a coconut and or a big boulder on an elephant's rear end. It's growing good for you.
Oh yeah, I mean there are several boatloads of elephants involved.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's cool, and the cool thing is with the technology, man, because where I stand on social media, where I stand on a lot of things, but the one thing that did take place is that did bring us. We were able to do it, and like you said, a guy like yourself, you weren't on tour, you're available to play the guitar. A guy like Fernando, a guy like Mladen. We go down a list of the people that are involved in this thing and the people that we got. I mean, Yavo on the drums. I mean, people that we ended up getting with, Tyra Juliet, Dan, Dirk Bentley's fiddle player being, I mean, hell, he's now on his, I think 26 tracks for us.
You've built a whole network.
Yeah, I mean, we're, it was really cool because there's so many talented people to pull from.
Right.
And, people are blessed to be able to get online with you from wherever they're at and take guitar lessons from you.
Absolutely.
You know, and all that kind of stuff. I might have to do that. I was thinking about maybe
But
learning
there's
how to play the guitar.
There's one thing about my guitar lessons.
Yeah.
They're expensive.
Well, I mean, you know what? That's the way it is. I mean, that's the way it is. I mean,
but
like I said,
here's the thing: you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
And I made a conscious decision that I really want to change people's lives. You know, that might sound a little blasphemous or so, but for someone that is trying to learn lead guitar and is really passionate about it,
right,
and has tried so many things to get to the point where they can really play from the heart. You know, for someone like that, it can be life-changing if you can show them how to do it.
Right.
Do it in a way where they stop believing that they can ever, you know, like, okay, I'm not talented enough, I just can't do it.
Right.
So I'm basically showing them, you know what, you actually can, because you're a great guy, you know, you have the flame burning in you.
Right.
And all we need to do is get organized and work on those foundations that you need.
Yeah.
Of course, a little bit of dexterity in the fingers, you know,
right,
a little bit of some screws need to turn in your brain. You know, you just gotta adjust the whole apparatus to be functioning.
Yeah.
But you know, at the end of the day, it's all about implementing the information that really matters. We're flooded with information,
right,
and it just helps to have one guy that just takes you from A to B, you know, all those little steps, and say, okay, take this route, I'll take you by the hand, and we can do this together.
Yeah, that is it's awesome, man. And I know that you have that the one thing that I learned about you through all the tracks that we worked on together was, you know, you have a good way of introducing different ideas and concepts and thoughts. One song I always talk about is "Save My Soul," and you know, I'm sure I would hope you're following what's going on just like everybody else, but that was our #1 song last year, dude.
You know how I keep track of all the songs, because I'm really busy at the moment, but you have a Turkish fan base, yeah?
Yeah.
In Ankara.
Yeah, we did.
And they keep listening to that stuff, and they keep checking on the numbers and so. And so, you know, whenever I see them, or sometimes they send me a message, hey, Ulrich, so, you know.
Yeah.
John Paul, you know, Paul Jones has like 10 times more plays than you.
Well, we've worked. I've worked because again, you know, we're not on. I don't concentrate on anything else but Spotify, our website, and the app. That's it. I have concentrated my. You know, Spotify has 37% of streaming service of streaming. The audience. And eventually, and I think I told you the other day, you know, the 2-year plan is 2-year plan. I'm not even gonna. I don't give a crap if we're on Spotify, Flop a Fly, Flip a Fly, Twat or Twatter. I want our audience to be coming to our website, and I want our audience I want our audience to be our audience, and you know, because you know as well as I do, Ulrich, Spotify, you know, like all streaming services, is ripping us off as artists.
Absolutely. You know, if they would really do what they're preaching, they're trying to pretend to support indie artists and all that, right? All they needed to do is get those email addresses that they already have from people, give them to the artists, you know, say like, okay, you know, when I sign up, I want to, this is my favorite artist, I want to give him my email.
Yeah.
It would be that easy, and then that way you could build your own distribution directly. You doing it in your way, you know, I figured out a way for me as well. Because we need to own our distribution, so we're not dependent on those
Well, we need, I mean, you know, this stuff's expensive. Ulrich is expensive. And, you know, the money spent. I mean, we did 27 tracks, man. We produced 27 tracks. And again,
that's a lot.
That was a lot. I mean, when I looked at, you know, the money spent in 2021, it blew my mind. And then you look, and I've talked about I talk about this all the time, Ulrich, with the other people that come on a show. Is man, it is expensive, and people think they're paying their $10 a month and they're supporting music. You're not supporting anything. You're supporting a dude's coke habit that owns Spotify over in wherever the hell he's at in Stockholm, right? He's in
Sweden,
Stockholm.
Sweden.
Yeah. And the fact of the matter is, you know, even the big artists that are getting, you know, massive spends, it's still 0.004 cents. And if it was on traditional radio, that would be 6 cents, which is a crime, because that's not changed since the 30s.
Right. There's only one guy that gets 30% from everything.
Yeah.
And that's a cokehead.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's exactly it. And you know, it's a shame, and that's what we've been trying to do is just educate, and through conversations like with you. I mean, you're right. Look, if somebody's following the Bootleggers or Ulrich Ellison or whoever it is, I should have the ability to email them or communicate with them. You can't even communicate with them to tell them, you know, Spotify decides when they're going to let somebody iTunes. I mean, I don't even want to get started on that.
But you know, the main thing is we just need to use those platforms.
Yeah.
And just be creators and not consumers. Yeah.
Right.
It means we just, you know, we go in like a SWAT team, do a job, and get the hell out. You know.
Right.
And that way, you know, you can build your own distribution. For example, with the Hendrix album, I had a guy hit me up on my website. You know, he wanted to order 3 LPs for Christmas. He's somewhere in Austria, and said, "Yeah, sure, I'll send them to you." You know, I have my people in the US. I have someone to send out CDs. In Europe, I have one. So, you know, I'll send them out. He gives me like $100 or so. I'll send him the CDs, the LPs.
Right.
And if you think about it, you know, with those 3 vinyls, cost me some money to produce, okay, but I'm basically making more with 3 albums than probably 15,000 streams on Spotify.
That's it. Well, you know, I was talking to a guy by the name of Bob Pope from Atlanta, Georgia, the other day. And I encourage people, you know, go to Bob's website and buy the album, whether you use it or not. But if you, as far as I'm concerned, when somebody hits follow, that means they should have bought the album. And so to make yourself right, buy the album, whether you download the file or not and ever use it, it doesn't matter. Would that matter to you if they streamed it 700,000 times? Would it matter to you if they paid the $12.99 for the album off your website? No, it wouldn't, because they're going to be free to buy it for $12.95 and spend it 700,000 times at their house.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And that's where we're trying to get to, especially, you know, I know you and I haven't really talked a lot because you've been so daggone busy, and I have, but that's what I'm trying to do, is just educate people on that and get them to understand that these artists, with people like Ulrich, I mean, Ulrich, you're one of the most talented people I know. Your brain is, I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if you got traumatized as a child. But man, the stuff that you've done, I was talking about Save My Soul. I can't remember. I can never forget. It was like 7:30 at night. I was up at a bar in Cincinnati, and my Skype rings, and you said, "Oh, I was listening to Save My Soul." Do I have your permission to mass it up? Remember? Yeah, because I wrote that. I wrote it as a bluegrass tune.
And I remember, and you had bluegrass, and then you were singing like "Save My Soul," and then I just took it down a full octave. Use the pitch shifter of Flog though. Save my soul. And then we had the kind of rattling chains.
Oh yeah,
like
the fires,
right? And the spooky sounds.
Yeah, we never released that version with the intro, and I play it on the radio. But I'm gonna release that version because it is so cool, man.
It's spooky, yeah.
Yeah, but just cool stuff, man. So hey, what do you want to do for us, man? You want to play?
Well, on our lesson, we were just talking about the genius of David Gilmour. So I was thinking I'm just gonna get this backing track going. I'll just improvise a little bit.
Cool.
If that's cool. Should just give me a sign,
take whatever you need, man.
Okay.
Smoking. Did you just wake Gigi up?
This is all happening just in my headphones, so it's dead quiet in the room.
Okay, well that's cool, man. That is cool. Well, that's Ulrich Ellison on his guitar, man. We can get the one more out of you. I'm going to be very respectful of your time. We usually go about 50 minutes to an hour. What I'm going to do right now, if it's okay, is I'm gonna actually I punched up "Save My Soul" with the intro, and I'm gonna play it.
Play it. Yeah,
I am gonna play it. I wish you could hear. I know you're the one who produced it, so you know what it's gonna be. But I'm gonna go ahead and play it I'll be back in 4 minutes 33 seconds, and this is with the intro. So you gotta understand, we had some fun with this. And it was a bluegrass song, man. I got the scratch. It was bluegrass, and I just never. It was one of the coolest phone calls, I think. Well, I got a lot of cool phone calls from Ulrich. Thank God again for technology, but boy, I'm going to mass it up. And I just smiled my rear end off. So here's "Save My Soul." We'll be back in 4 minutes and 33 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and spin "Save My Soul" with the intro. It's never been released. And this is actually, I think, only about the 4th time I've ever played it on the air. So here you go.
Save my soul from the devil's tight grip. Save my soul from the bellows blow. Save my soul from his empty promises. Lord, save my soul. Won't you save my soul?
Save my soul from the devil's tight grip. Save my soul from his bellows blow. Save my soul from his empty promises. Save my soul, Lord, save my soul. I've not lived by your words of wisdom. I have ignored all the good book told, but I am here and I am listening. Yes, save my soul, Lord, save my soul. Lord, save my soul from the devil's tight grip. Yeah, save my soul from the bellows blow. Save my soul from his empty promises. Lord, save my soul. Won't you save my soul? Yeah, higher top on Calvary. Son of man shed his blood for you and me. Yeah, see my soul from the devil's tight grip. Lord, see my soul. Yeah, see my soul.
Save my soul from the devil's tight grip. Save my soul from his bellows blow. Save my soul from his empty promises. Save my soul, Lord, save my soul. I've not lived by your wisdom. I have ignored what the good book told.
I expected all of this.
Ulrich, we were talking offline, and yeah, I expected everything that is happening for the bootleggers.
Yeah.
Do you remember the? You remember the day? Because I wanted to call it the Eighth Continent. Remember that? Yeah, I wanted
Say
to
it
call.
again.
I wanted to call what we're doing the Eighth Continent.
I'm glad you
Remember?
didn't.
Yeah, well, you're the reason it's the bootleggers. Do you remember the phone call when you go, Paul? You're breaking all the rules, you're bootlegger, bootlegger, man. And that's how that was born. I tell.
Yeah.
Here's the cool part, man. Sitting here and talking to you and seeing you. I mean, we communicated. I mean, what was that? 8 straight months of almost every frickin' day. I
Right,
mean,
right. Yeah.
I don't think a day went by that we didn't talk.
I want to say it was intense.
That was very intense, man.
Yeah.
God,
Gigi started to get jealous because he spent more time with you than with her.
well, that's what you said. Gigi called me your girlfriend or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But that's what that's the cool part, man. That's the cool part of this. I mean, you came into my life at a time when I was getting ready to check the hell out. I tell that story all the time, and you know that. And next thing you know, man, everything just turned around, and that's what music is.
Right, it is. Yeah, music is an exchange of energy for me. Yeah.
Right. I was had Pastor Bob Neal, our rapping pastor, Baptist minister. Bob was in here today, and Bob Burnett, who wrote a book called The Spiritual Puzzle, which I think you'd actually enjoy immensely as well. But they were dropped in the office today, and we were talking, and that's what Bob Burnett asked me, he said, "What is music to you?" So he asked me, he said, "What is music to you, Paul? How would you define music?" And I'm not going to answer how I answer. I'm going to ask you the same question. How would you define music?
No, I mean, music is life energy. You know, I mean, as soon as we find a place to sleep, eat and shit, you know, and we don't have to worry about the survival, you know. What is it really? What really matters to us? Yeah? And as far as I'm concerned, when I look around, you know, I see that we're all creators. We all want to create something. We want to leave an impact, or you know, communicate something. You know, now it's all Instagram accounts and all that. You know, but it just shows that human desire to create something and make an impact on another soul. Right. And I think music is one of the most dynamic ways to do that.
Yeah.
You can look at a painting, you know, but music is just, it flows from one mouth to the next ear, and it makes you want to dance. And so it's a universal language that unites our planet. I don't think there would be any party going on in the whole universe, probably, if we didn't have music. Yeah, what would we do? Just stare at each other?
No? Well, I could stare at you for hours, man. You're just so cute.
But you need some music, you know?
Yeah. My answer was not as beautifully articulated as yours, but I laughed if you heard me as you entered into it. You know, music to me is vibration, man. And it is truly a vibration. And here's the cool thing and the bad thing. We have seen music be used in horrible ways, you know, with some of the really mean-spirited and evil lyrically.
You're talking about Britney Spears, right?
Yeah, Britney Spears, right? Yeah, Milli Vanilli. Yeah, and but I told Bob, that's what I said. I said it is a vibration to me that will resonate. It resonates forever. You know, and like you said, it brings people together. It heals people. You know, meditation music, the tones, that's how we know those things, you know, where I don't know if you are aware, but years and years ago, there was a guy, and I can't quote it, and that's fine, but this is definitely a factual story. He actually was destroying cancer using vibrations of sound. And of course, the story goes that was kind of squashed and taken away, right? But that is true. It's a vibration, and I know what it does for me.
comes back to what I said, that music is energy, vibration is energy.
That's why I laughed. Yeah, that's what we're talking. We're talking about the same thing.
We're talking
vibration,
about the same
energy.
thing. Exactly. And then here's the beautiful thing, that energy, it's just transformable, right? It's like it's always the same, right? It never gets diminished. It just gets transformed into some other energy.
Right.
And that's the same with music. Really, that we don't own the music, yeah. We don't own the energy. It's just already floating out there somewhere, yeah.
Right.
And all we do is we tap our little finger into that vibration,
right.
And like you write a tune, and you tap into that vibration of a certain resonance, so to say, yeah. And then somebody on the other half of the globe listens to Paul Jones sing, and something in that triggers a resonance in him, yeah.
Right.
Because that vibration hits a certain spot, and then they start dancing like they got a seizure.
Yeah.
And then, before you know it, there's the whole living room is jumping around in Turkey to your music.
Right.
That's how it happens.
Well, you know what, man? The neat thing of how we've done this, to me, is the blessing I have of what this has done for me, what this project has done, is to meet someone like you, who I can give my thought. I can have a thought. God sends me a thought. And then all of a sudden a melody comes. And then all of a sudden I send it to Ulrich Ellison, and our energy has become intertwined now. You have taken my vibration, my energy, added your energy to it. Then you send it to Yavo, or I send it to iTunes Joe, and he puts his in. Now you got 3 people. Now you got 3 interpretations of a thought, right?
Right.
Then you send it to the strings. Then you do this. Now, what ends up happening, and that's the beautiful thing about music to me, and the individual artist or the individual musician or the composer or producer or whatever, everybody's putting their, let's just dummy it down, 2 cents in, man.
Well, that was what I liked about you from the get-go, that, I asked you, okay, so, what do you have in mind on that first little track that you sent me?
Right.
And I mean, if I remember it right, you just told me, just do what you're feeling, man.
You're the doctor, dude. Yeah, I think that's what it says. Yeah, dude, I don't care.
I don't care. I'm already paying you too much.
I'm already paying you too much damn money for you to go get new hats and go flying all over to Egypt and crapola like that. I'm not. Hell, I travel 2 miles away. I used to travel 5,000 miles a month. Now I can't afford to even go down to the Chick-fil-A and get me a donut or something.
I'll ship you a donut from Egypt.
Yeah, send me a donut from Egypt. Oh my God. Hell, I got people coming in here bringing me food nowadays, man.
No, but seriously, that's a very important leadership. That you just bring the right people together, and then just let them do their thing, and then go with whatever they bring to the table, just let that shine, basically. I think that's the quality.
Well, but it's also you too, man, and I do appreciate the.
But you cannot polish a turd, yeah.
I appreciate. I truly
shine. It doesn't shine, yeah.
It shine a turd. That's right.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate those words, and I am very blessed. I know, especially when it comes to art or whether it's business. And that was a lesson from Betty, my mother, and my father's. If you surround yourself with brilliance, or you surround yourself with the right people, they'll take care of you. I mean, it's kind of like Henry Ford. Henry Ford surrounded himself with the right people. And he didn't know all. People think he was brilliant. He wasn't brilliant. He wasn't he didn't come up with half the crap that was there. He had a thought and said, this is possible. And then found the people that went, you're right. Or he challenged them. You know, the V8 engine, if you know the story of the V8 engine, that should have never happened. It should have never happened back in those days. But he was wacky enough to go, yeah, you know,
why not? Yeah.
Why not? Don't tell me what I can't do.
Yeah.
So I have been. We just rehearsed tonight. We got a big show on Saturday, and my guys that are playing, in the show. It still stays with me, Ulrich, because I tell them, you do what you want. Now I can tell them what I hear, right? You and I've had those conversations. This is what I hear. I remember a track where you said, I don't hit any violin at all. And we ended up with 2 freaking violins on it. Your girl in LA, right?
Yeah.
And then
the guy in Nashville, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you said I don't hit, man. And I went, dude, let's just get it and we'll throw it away if we don't need it. And then Dan did his, and then you got excited, and then said, hey, I got I can punch her up on the website here. What's her name?
What's Queen B, or no? What was
God, she's very talented.
Dana is her name.
Dana B,
yeah,
man.
Dana
I'm serious.
B,
she's on the website, man.
Yeah.
And she did her thing, and I remember you. The way we produced them just cracks me up. You called me and said, "Have Dan do this." And I had to send him a voice text going, I need you to go.
Yeah, I remember he was too.
Because you were telling me like F sharp major, B minor, elemental P Q R S U V, and I don't know what you're talking about.
You know, that's a problem with a lot of like experienced players or like studio cats. They just think they need to be proper.
Right.
Because usually that's what people ask for, They want it polished, they want it everything perfect. But in our case, or in your case, when we need a little bit of dirt or grit, then that's sometimes harder to achieve.
Yeah.
From those guys, than the other way around.
Yeah, well, we're lucky, man. I mean, we got and especially if you work with people several times, and then they understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
they understand when you say do what you want.
Yeah,
they know they're not going to disappoint you, and if you end up coming back and having to say, okay, you went a little off the grid for me here. But I don't think I in all the tracks now, I think I'm up to 40, 45 produced tracks. I don't think I've ever told somebody what they did was wrong. If anything, I probably said, I need you to get even stupider. I need you to get even wilder, and Roger Kors, Roger Tiny Kors, who toured with Unknown Henson, who's been laying a lot of our bass. This guy's so whacked out of his head, it's pitiful, man. And he just does a great job, and so we've been really blessed. But man,
is he the guy you play with live, or?
Yeah, he's actually he was originally from North Carolina. Roger, and then Steve Schmidt is another bass player that we have. So I've got pretty much 3 of everything within the area in case somebody can't do something. Right. And but been real blessed. But Roger is very. I mean, if you don't know of him, well, here's a trick, man. Here's when you know you're working with somebody. We produced a track. I sent it to get some piano, and I wanted some boogie woogie piano. So I didn't want to, Dennis Palantang has laid a lot of our piano, who's a international concert pianist. but I wanted something different. So I found Mooch Jones in North Carolina, right? And so I send the track to Mooch, and Roger had already put his bass on it. Now, I didn't have any conversation with Mooch about who was on the track. I just sent him the track to lay the boogie woogie stuff down. And he texted me as soon as he listened to the track. He said, "Is that Roger Tiny Cores on the bass?" I said, "What'd you just ask me?" He said, "Is that Roger Tiny Cores on?" Now that's when you know you're working with somebody.
Right.
Because
but it comes back to that vibration, you know.
Yeah.
Because you can just feel we all have our unique footprint, and if you're that tuned in, you know, you're gonna hear that's Roger, the chorus, you know.
Yeah. It's just crazy, but man, I love you to death. I know, what is it now? 6:30 in the morning.
6:30 over here.
Yeah, 6:30 in the morning.
But you know, I didn't get up that early.
I know that. I know. Yeah. But when we were tracking, we were both up like whatever time. It was that was kind of. I want to I can't thank you enough. I want to see if you could take us out of here with something, man. Give me some more Ulrich Ellison on there, and then you can fire something up, and we'll say our adieus. And man, we gotta do this more. I would really like to sit and talk to you about some of your new stuff that you got, and then also go through some of the tracks that we've done. And because there's questions that I have of what the heck were you thinking? I don't, not that you would remember, but
I have the same questions.
yeah, like what was that? But I want Ulrich play us a little something, and then we'll just come back and say goodbye once you wrap that up. And man, I can't thank the people. We've got quite a few people actually online right now listening, so that's kind of cool. And then I'll re-air this tomorrow night.
Everyone was afraid to actually see us face to face.
Yeah.
So, I get it, you know.
Yeah, you know, it is
scary. Yeah.
Plus, I got to be honest with you, I wasn't paying too much attention to see if people were knocking to get in. I was sitting here just mesmerized by just going back in my mind and the memories of what has taken place over the past couple of years in my life. I'm certainly blessed. And for those of you listening and who will be listening, this man right here, buddy, you changed my life, man. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
My connection is unstable.
Yeah, it looked like you had some yellow bars there or something. Well, you're unstable. It wasn't your connection.
I'm as stable as I'll get.
You changed my life, man. You saved my life, and you changed my life. You lifted me up. You taught me a ton of stuff, and about all kinds of things, not just music. But
it means a lot of you sharing that with me.
Yeah, well, and it's very sincere, and I know a lot of people understand that. So play us a tune, and then we'll come back and just say goodbye.
Let's see. Maybe you know the tune. This is gonna be interesting. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. That's awesome, dude. I'm telling you what, man. I can listen to you all night long. That is for sure, man. Well, I want to wish you and Gigi a happy anniversary, and hopefully all goes well tomorrow. And again, I just appreciate you jumping on here with me. I can't, everything works out for a reason, and I'm glad I reached out to you after we got done rehearsing.
Well, and
yeah. So last year at this time, I can't remember where you guys were on your anniversary, but you were somewhere, and I got all the pictures of you sending me the food, and
yeah, I remember. Yeah. I think you were in Eskişehir here, also here in Turkey.
Yeah. So, wish you well on that, and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, all those things like that, and
thanks. Yeah.
We'll get you back on here, and we'll just have some fun. I got I'm making the rounds, and of course, you were the first, obviously, that I really wanted you to be the first of the bootleggers, because I send everybody to the webpage to meet the bootleggers, to go to your websites, follow you, do all those kinds of things. I've got Leon Van Egmond, the harmonica player, coming on. I got he's in the Netherlands. I got Ituna Joe from.
I remember that guy. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, he's amazing, and I got Ituna Joe coming on from Nigeria, the drummer. I'd like you to hook me up with Yavo.
Yeah, absolutely.
And love to talk to him, and just I want people to know that. I want people to know that this is global. I mean, we have people everywhere, Jack.
Yeah.
I mean, we got them everywhere. Mladen Stolovic, the guy who runs the strings over in Serbia, he is very bashful, says he can't really speak English. I said, well, then get a friggin' translator. I mean, I don't care. I'll put something up there. And yeah, so I do appreciate it. We've been talking to Ulrich Ellison. It is 10:39 p.m. I'm going to air this tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and then I'll replay it also, Ulrich, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and then 8 o'clock at night Eastern Standard Time, and then it'll be available in the app. And then I'll put the video on YouTube after I edit out all the crazy stuff that we talked about while we were off.
Can I drop two links for people to
you drop whatever. I want you to tell people how to find you, what to do, where to go to, and send fan mail and panties and all the stuff.
I got two things for people to check out. Yeah, if you're a guitar player yourself, then check out totalguitartransformation.com. Yeah?
Right.
Check that out and just enjoy, whatever you gonna find there. And the second thing, I want to invite any of you that are into Jimi Hendrix and kind of just old school music, check out our Power of Soul tribute album, and you can find that on powerofsoulalbum.com/get.
All right.
You get the album, yeah.
All right, and then they can also go to ulrichellison.com.
Actually, I think you might find the album link on that website as well. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And then I will even say this: if you want to send me the MP3s, I can put it in our store, and we'll just funnel all the money over to you. If they want to do a download, I mean, I'm not opposed to that either. If people don't like to do any of that, but we'll, we can do whatever you want. But yeah, go to those websites. Now, do you have your workshops linked to your websites? I'm sitting here right now.
I'm not even sure if I have.
Oh, hey, buddy, I think I just found you an error here on your website. When I click on free Jimi Hendrix workshops, it goes to click funnels.
Oh, that's not good. Okay.
That's not good. Fix that. You need to fix that.
I'll fix that. Okay.
Yeah. So make sure you fix that. I'm glad I found that for you.
Yeah.
But Yeah, it actually goes to badmonkey.com. And I don't when I used to do website design back in my wacko days when I was a comic, when my customers wouldn't pay me, I would redirect their websites to some pretty obscure places. Yeah, they call me and go, "Hey man, my site's gone." I'm like, "It must be in the same place my check is." So, Ulrich Ellison, thank you so very much for joining us this evening, and I do appreciate you, buddy. Love you to death.
Thanks, brother.
So tell Gigi I said hey, and
I will.
We will go from there.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Peace out.
Take it easy. Peace.
All right, man. All right. You got it.
Night.
All right. Good night, buddy.